Hello and welcome to Ngwasheng Online Maths Academy. My name is Desmond Ngwasheng. The previous video, I did what you call trigonometric general solution. Basically, we did general solution. Now we are doing identities, where we simplify. All these two problems that you see, they are from the examination, past papers to be specific. So this is specifically for grade 12 and 11 as well. Because you know most 90 or 60% of the grade 12 syllabus come from the grade 11. So I'm going to touch on this. After this, I'm going to do another identities where we don't simplify, but we are proving left hand side to be equals to right hand side. So because I want to keep it short, don't want to make an hour video for this. So I'm going to do a lot of different videos. Please make sure that you follow all these, subscribe, like, comment, and share. So now, let me start. As we are talking identities where we simplify, it will be a mixture of all the identities, what you can think of. Remember, under trigonometry, we've got reduction formula, we've got reciprocal, we've got cofunction, we've got square identities, we've got negative identities. All that will just be one thing. It will be brought under the same problem where we are forced to simplify. So now, let's check. This one, it's 5 marks. From the past paper, it's 5 marks. If you are doing a lot of past papers, you'll come across this more often. So number 2 is also from a different paper, which is 6 marks. So you can see. So let's just work on this straight to the point as we are preparing for examination. All right, you can refer to your formula sheet, your textbook, whatever, to check all that information. Now, we know this is part of the location. Firstly, be able to identify what is a cofunction. The moment you see 90 minus, think of a cofunction. When you see 90 plus, also it's a cofunction. When you see a negative angle inside the bracket, think of negative identities. So now, let me just write the negative identities for you. We are having cos negative theta. It will come out as what? We also have a sine negative theta. We also have a cot negative theta. So we say all these, they've got their reciprocal. Like we know, sine has a reciprocal, which is cos, sec, and then sine, cos has a sec, sine has a cosec, tan has a cot. But let's work out on this. So I say when it comes to negative identities, I'm going to delete this as I proceed. Negative identities, only the sign is the one that becomes positive. The rest will be negative. So you just need to memorize that. So this is going to be negative sine theta. This is going to be negative tan of a theta. That's it. That is anything based on negative identities. What about the cofunctions? Cofunction, you see now, in trigonometry, you need to know all this information because it will be now easier to deal with them. It will be easier to deal with them. You just refer into your when you enter the exam room, you are not allowed to enter with some notes, but you can create notes while we are in the exam room, but only after you are given a chance to say you may start with your examination. Use the question paper to note down all these important things, to say what are the negative identity, you'll note it down. What are the cofunction, we've got cofunction, we are having a cos of 90 minus theta. As long as it's a 90 minus, a cos will become a sine. And it becomes positive because 90 minus, everything is positive. But vice versa, if we're having a sine 90 minus, as long as it's still 90 minus, it's first quadrant. 90, a sine become a cos. But what if I say a cos 90 plus theta? The fact that it's 90, the cos is still a sine. But where do we find 90 plus? That is the second quadrant. Do we have cos there? No. So it's a negative sine theta. Same applies to if I say sine 90 plus a theta. Then we check. Since it's 90 plus, sine become a cos. The thing is, where do we find 90 plus? We find it on the second step. Do you have a sine? Yes. So it becomes positive. Same applies to tan. Tan 90 plus. That will be a cot, theta. But what is 90 plus? What is the location of 90 plus? That is second quadrant. Do you have tan? No. Negative. So you do the same thing to the rest. My good people, I'm preparing for this, just for that 5 marks. Now, let's work on this. It's not in our usual order. It is, we are used to 360 minus, 360 plus, 180, but they decide to switch. What you do here, manipulate this. Just put it like this. Like we verify, switch it, but put a negative outside. You can check. If I say negative times 360, I'm going to get negative 360. If this doesn't give you the same as the original, then it's wrong. Negative times negative theta, it gives me my theta as a positive. Indeed, it's positive. I know for a fact that this is correct. But now let's come here. 90 minus, it's a co-function. Sine 90 minus. Where is sine 90 minus? Sine 90 minus. The answer is cos theta. And it's positive. Yes. Now, come here. Time negative. The fact is negative. I'm no longer consulting co-function. I'm consulting negative identities by focusing on time. Time become a negative time. So I'll put negative tan theta here. Guys, I think they are marking them separate because now you can see it's 5 marks. Now, all over cos 90 plus is a co-function. It's a co-function. So what is 90 plus? That cos 90 plus is negative sine theta. So I'm going to write negative sine of the theta. You deserve a mark for it. But this one obviously we delay because we just switched, but we haven't worked on it yet. So that means this, if I have to work on this, sine will become negative sine theta. But 360 minus is 4th quadrant. We don't have sine. So that is another negative sign. So that means we are now having double negative, which will automatically become a positive. So I can just cancel it. So to say this is what I have. All over negative sine theta. Remember, we simplify. Now I can say the whole sine cancel sine. We only cancel if they are separated by multiplication, nothing more. So after I cancel this, I'm left with negative divided by negative. That also disappears. So you are left with a clean cos theta times a tan of a theta. Now what do we do from here? There's nothing I can do on the cos. It remains the same. But what about a tan? Will be sine theta over cos theta. Now you can celebrate because you see that your answer is just sine theta. The lesson that I'll do after this is where we are proving left to be equals to right. But it's basically the same because now if they knew that the answer is going to be sine theta, they can just make this an equation to say the whole thing here equals to sine. Then they say prove that left hand side equals to right hand side. So it's the same basically. When we simplify and when we do find the when we're proving left hand side to be equals to right hand side, it's the same. So now it's almost 10 minutes long. So now let me do number 2. I'm still going to use this if there's a necessity for that. But looking at that, I don't have there's negative identity. There's a square identity. This is just a reduction. So I don't have co-function on this second problem. So now let me clear the board here so I can write. So the 5 marks, just like that. We are having 5 marks. For what? Oh, this is not good. This is not good. It's not coming clean. All right, let me just use that. Okay. All right. Now, we do this one, then we are done. Let me bring number 2 here. I have It's wet. It's still wet. All right. Now check my good people. I'm having sine 360 minus x multiplied by tan negative x all over cos 180 plus x times sine squared a plus cos squared a inside the bracket. Here is like math is like mind games. They're playing mind games, hide and seek. There's a hidden solution. You just have to find it by means of simplifying. Okay, now you can tell. According to the reduction, now guys, I know as a grade 12, 11, you know about the Cartesian plane. I don't have enough space to write that Cartesian plane, fill up all that information, but I advise you to do so before you answer any question, especially in examination. So 360 minus, we know, is fourth quadrant. Should I write that? This is 4, 1, 2, 3. This is where we get 180 minus. This is where we get 180 plus 360 minus 90 minus, but it's co-function. I don't want to use that. 0 plus theta. That is the first. Okay. Now 360 minus, we already see. Does sine belong there? No. So that's negative sine of x. And negative identity, we come across this again, but it was a different paper, different years. So now, tan negative, we said when it comes to the negative identities, as long as you know that only the cos is the one that come out positive, the rest, they remain as negative. So now I know tan is going to be a negative, tan of x, all over. Remember, this was 6 marks. 6 marks, that's too much, for nothing basically. So now, cos is cos x. But I can tell, cos 180 plus, this is 180 plus. All students take cos. So cos doesn't belong in this quadrant. It's going to be a negative as well. Now, multiply by, look what they did. And I'm sure there is a mark for it. This is a square identity. Even on your formula sheet, it's known like sine squared plus cos squared equals to 1. So, but if, that's why they use the a's here. But you can see all these it was like the x's, but they know that it don't make any difference because this will be replaced by y. It makes things even more easier. So if I say negative times negative is positive, but same positive by negative, I'm expecting the answer which should be negative at the end. So now, remember, one can say sine over sine, sine over cos is tan. Tan times tan, okay? So, but now, let's just, I know in this case, there's different application. A learner can decide to say sine over cos. And obviously, since I've got negative and negative, that's positive, but negative will remain. So, definitely, all over negative cos x. Hence, I'm saying that different ways to do that. So some can say negative sine times negative sine. That is like a positive sine squared x, or negative cos times cos. That is a negative cos x squared. Now together it's like negative tan squared x. That is the answer from the exam. But however, here another method. Remember, different learners, different teachers, everyone can do it in the way that they like. So someone can notice that, you know what, negative sine and negative cos. Negative will cancel negative, but sine over cos will become a tan, which is a tan x. But it doesn't stop the fact that it's going to multiply with another negative tan x. What will that be? Tan times negative tan is going to be negative tan squared x, just like that. Answers are the same, but the application and the preference differ. So yes, that is the identities. So what I'm trying to say, this was from the two different question paper from the past paper from the examination. So no matter you can get the third paper, the fourth paper, but you can see the structure of simplify. is the same. So the only thing that is not here is the one that where they're asking you to prove that left hand side equals to right hand side, which is the next video. Make sure you watch the next video. I'm going to upload the next video. Thank you for your time. Make sure you subscribe, comment anything that you want. Let me know on the comment section. Thank you.